Hello everyone, namaste, and welcome to our website. If you haven't been here before, and if this is your first time, then we encourage you to search our site. There's a lot of valuable, amazing information that has come through my own business, what I've learned from Harlan, and as well as continual updated marketing techniques to help you to be able to make more money in your business and to help take your business to new heights and new levels which you desire it to go to. And we also have a forum, and we encourage you to come onto our forum. It's a great way to network, to meet other people around the world doing what you're doing, and to share ideas and get feedback on what you may not know about or what you're desiring to know more about. So you can get on the forum, post anything that you'd like about business, any questions you have. Harlan or I will get back to you regarding that. And we we would love to have you on. So continue to be a part of this experience of our forum and continue to share all that you've learned and where your business is going and share your ideas so that we can feed off of each other, grow and learn off of each other, and all help elevate each other to new, prosperous places in our business. And today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about my own experience in my pregnancy for the past 9 months. And I immediately, when I found I was pregnant, stopped practicing. I continued to practice at a very different level of practice. I didn't stop my practice altogether. I just changed it a lot because I was a little bit fearful about what I could and couldn't do. And so as a result of that, I immediately stopped inversions and back bends, and I made my practice very simple. And then a couple months into my pregnancy, I decided that I wanted to go to Shiva Ray and get certified in pre and postnatal yoga. So I went to Los Angeles for the intensive training, and it was fantastic. And I was actually blown away about the information I learned from Shiva. And there are many takes and views, and it depends which prenatal training you do. However, I got to find out that there was a lot of stuff I could continue doing that I wasn't doing. And throughout your trimesters, depending what trimester you're in, you obviously have to be careful of the baby, and depending how big your body is weight-wise, but also how big your belly's getting. But there are still a lot of things, especially if you've been practicing yoga for a long time and you have more advanced practice, there's a lot of things that you can continue to do, such as inversions, shoulder stand, headstand, Pinchamariyasana, full wheel pose, bridge pose. There's many things that are still available to your body to explore with as long as you're comfortable and you feel safe doing them. So once I got trained in prenatal yoga and I came back, I started exploring a lot more in my practice. And in my second trimester, I was able to keep doing shoulder stand, and I did some headstands, and I did more back bends, and I upped my practice a little bit more compared to what I was doing. And I also discovered the yoga ball, I should say the exercise ball. And I enjoyed working with the exercise ball and playing around with it and trying out different things within my practice that I could do with the ball, modified things. And the ball helped make me able to do things I wasn't necessarily able to do as well as I could earlier on in my pregnancy. So from that, I created many different sequences and different exercises with the ball to help assist me in my practice, to make it more innovative, more creative, to make it more enjoyable for myself. And I also have found that being pregnant, there's not, at least where I live, there's very few studios and very few places to go and take a prenatal yoga class. And if I went down to Miami or Fort Lauderdale, which is half an hour to an hour away, I could probably find a lot more places, but I just don't have the time to do that because I've been working full time. So the classes I have gone to, I've been completely unimpressed. And, I always feel you can learn from any teacher, any type of class you go to. So I go with more of a beginner's mind, and I learn what I can from the teacher I'm taking from. But the last time I went to a class, I actually took my mother with me. She was in town, and it was a Kundalini yoga class, which Kundalini I know is a very different type of yoga. But we went, and for the whole hour and 45 minutes, we did a little bit of breathing, pranayama at the beginning and pranayama at the end. And we did some meditation exercises, and then we basically sat in a cross-legged position for the whole hour and a bit, and doing exercises with our arms and a little bit of stuff with our spine. And that was it. There was no twist, there was no forebends, there was no standing poses, there was absolutely nothing. And there was no corrections, no modifications. And one woman in the class actually had a very sore back that she'd been dealing with. And the teacher really didn't address her issue of her back or give her alternative options. And even my mother found it very difficult to sit in a cross-legged position for that long with a straight spine. She ended up doing some of her own poses and changing up what the teacher was doing because she just couldn't handle sitting in that place for so long. And I felt quite unsatisfied when the class was over. There was parts of the class I liked, but my body felt very unsatisfied. And that's usually why I stay home and I just do my own practice, is because I can't find a prenatal class that I've enjoyed going to in here in Boca where I live. And so as a result, it's made me really get into different things of experimentation with the ball, with props, with bolsters for my pregnancy. And I think too, many, many years ago, and probably around 20 years ago, 10, 20 years ago, there's yoga videos that came out that they didn't do as much. It was a very gentle, slow practice. And I actually first got Shiva Ray's video as a gift when I was pregnant. And I watched it, and I did it a couple times in my first trimester. And I found it quite quite mellow and quite gentle and very relaxed. And it was good, but then when I went and did the prenatal training with Shiva, her style has completely changed. She did that video, I think, about 10 years ago. And her effort that she encourages women to put into her practice when you're pregnant, to activate your strength and more of your energy, and to get really strong in your legs and your arms, and to push yourself a little bit in your practice, was very inspiring. And so that's what I'm here to encourage other pregnant women, and that's why I'm coming out with a yoga DVD, as well as I've given on the website some little clips of different exercises I've done with the yoga ball. There's such a variety of things that you can do, and just because you're pregnant and you may feel heavy and you may feel tired doesn't mean that you have to have a really slow, mellow practice. Now, if that's what you're yearning for and that's what your body's telling you to do, then by all means follow that intuitive instinct and do your practice in a very gentle, compassionate way, which is a lot of times what my practice has been. But at times where you have more energy in the day, or when you're practicing at a good time, then you want to gain strength. You don't want to find new ways in your practice that can challenge you, so that when you get to the place of giving birth, you have that stamina, you have more mental energy, a greater focus, and you can really not push yourself, but you can remain at a very calm, patient, and loving place inside of the birth or the pain of your birth, from what I've heard of other women giving labor, because you've kept a certain amount of strength all throughout your practice. And like I said, everybody feels differently in their pregnancy, and you definitely have to honor your body and know what's right for you and what's good for you. And that's another thing that I've had to learn in the past 9 months. And at times I'm very hard on myself because I don't think I'm doing enough, or I want to be doing more, or I'm not practicing as long as I want to, or as many times a week as I would normally. But I've also been working full time, so my energy is going into my work and my clients. And there's times where I get home and I'm exhausted. So instead of practicing, I may do 15 minutes of breathing or 15 minutes of meditation and not do any asanas. And sometimes I feel guilty that I'm not doing as much yoga as I'd like to be doing. But instead, I've turned that around and just said to myself, it's okay with whatever level you're doing. You don't have to be doing a strong, vigorous practice. Obviously, you're pregnant, you're carrying a life force inside of you, and you have to honor that, and you have to slow down as a result of that. and also just the changes that occur in your body where you have no choice but to modify and to change your yoga practice.